Hey guys, we thought it's been quite a hiatus since we did our last video, and we thought we'd jump on and do another quick one for you now. What I really wanted to do was show everyone how to tie a knot when they're tying up a roast. It's when I do the demos at any of the field days and stuff like that, it's one of the questions I get asked the most: how do we tie that knot? And it's a really simple thing to do. But what I thought I'd do is grab one of these whole chucks. This is a grass-fed, grass-finished chuck from one of our new beef suppliers, Outback Beef. We do sell these as a whole product on our website. So generally when people think of chuck, they think of slow cooking, casseroles, diced beef, that sort of stuff. There is another thing that you can do with them that'll really perform well, and I thought I'd do a quick demo on that and just show you how to get a little bit more value out of this cut of meat. So what we do with the chuck now, so the good thing about these things is they're actually, this end here is attached to the Scotch fillet, okay? This part here, this log that comes down there, that's part of the Scotch fillet. So when we break the beef up and take the chuck, the neck part off the set of ribs that's got the Scotch on it, this part here performs really well as a roast. All right, so if you get one of these whole chucks and you want to get a roast out of it, what you do is you just cut down into the center here, all right, and then you can pick up a seam. So whenever we're boning anything out, and it doesn't matter which species it is that we're doing, we follow one or two things. We either follow bone or we follow seam. Very rarely do we just make a cut blindly into meat. All right, so what we do is, the seam is just a separation in the muscles. So you can see there when I start peeling that back, we've got a seam. All right, so we just roll it out like that. Get down to the end here and then just take that off. So that's the end of the Scotch fillet. So with the rest of our chuck, you can, if you've got a little mincer, you can use all your trimmings and make some mince and stuff like that out of it. You can slow cook this and use it for pulled beef. You could trim it up and use it for diced beef. You can cut those into steaks as a braising steak, and they'll still perform. All right. The same with any muscle that we use. There's no such thing as a bad muscle. There's bad cooking methods for certain muscles. So anything that does a lot of work is going to have more connective tissue. The muscle's going to be stronger. It's going to need to have a longer, slower cook at a lower temperature. Okay. Whereas the muscles that don't do as much work, and if you think of something like an eye fillet, which is a dormant muscle, sits on the inside of the spine, you can get intense heat to those straight away and they'll perform and they'll be nice and tender every single time. So what I'll do, I'll just pop this over here and we'll get into, first thing we'll do is square this up a little bit. So when you're doing up a roast, what you want to do ideally is get everything to a uniform thickness all the way through. Okay, you don't want one big heavy end that's going to take a lot longer to cook and a smaller end that's going to cook a lot quicker. What you'll end up having is one end really dry and the other end probably at medium rare. Okay, so we can square that up a little bit just by rolling a little bit of the tail out here. Try and leave the fat in it as much as you can, because fat's flavour and fat's tenderness. If we just roll those down like that. As you can see, I haven't taken that much off that piece there, and now we've got something that's a fairly consistent length of thickness. So with our knots, they're really easy. Just follow this same method that I use here and you'll get it right every time. So when we tie up a roast, we put the string underneath, all right, and then we bring the loose end back up around and make a loop around that string. So we've got that like that. Pinch that top part there, wrap it around twice. Now this is the really important bit. When you come back up with this little piece of string, come up from underneath and put it back through that eye. Okay, if you go from the top down, when you put pressure on it, it'll undo every time. So just pull that up like that. Get your string nice and straight. And you just wrap it around your hand, and you can adjust this where that's going to sit. Put that like that, make a loop, just a loop like that, and tie it off twice. Okay, and then you just knock that off like that. So now we still are a little bit thicker at this end. So what you can do there is put your next knot there. Quite often, if you've got it, it's in a consistent shape, you can put your two end knots in first, work from the center, and then work your way out, and it'll keep everything thick or consistent in diameter. Because this is still a little bit like that, we do the next one here and do the same process. So wrap your top string around, okay? Pinch it. Wrap it around twice, 1, 2, back up from underneath. Okay, pull that up tight, and you slide that back to there, and then bring that up firm. Wrap it around, pinch and tie, and that's it. So we'll just keep working down this towards this end. Okay, wrap it around twice, up from underneath, bring it back that way, get your knot in the center, and then tie it off. And then we'll put one on the end there, then we've got it all tied up. 1, 2, back up from underneath, pull it up, push it down, and bring it up. Okay, so there's a little chuck log roast. Obviously, it's not going to be huge, considering the amount of end of the Scotch fillet that is left on there. If you end up going too deep on here, what you're going to end up with is parts of the neck muscle that's done a lot more work. Okay, lifting up and down that big heavy head for the whole life of the animal, and those bits will be a fair bit tougher. These are great. You can cook them on a moderate heat and get a good result on there. Yep, ideal. Okay, so we've done the quick demo on how to do that knot. Now, Jana's never tied a knot in her life, maybe her shoelaces once.
Once or twice.
Generally, her mum still ties them up for her.
I use Velcro.
Jana's our marketing guru. So, just to show you how easy this is to pick up, I'll do one and Jana's going to tie the rest. Okay, so same process. Underneath, wrap it over and bring it around. Okay? Around twice. 1, 2, and then back up from underneath. Alright, and then we just tie that little slip knot up, push it down, and then bring that up. Make a loop, tie it off, make a loop, tie it off, and that's it. Okay,
Right.
let's see how she goes.
Which one? Alright. So,
No, wrong, you're sacked.
oh,
No, you've come from the wrong side.
I'll let you
Okay,
know straight
so
away.
you've got to have, when you do this, you've got to have the cut end away from you. Okay, so you bring it under that way.
Okay. Alright, so underneath.
No, you bring it up to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and then wrap the loose one around the top.
This one around the top.
Yeah. Pinch it here with your left hand. No,
That's
yeah.
my left hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you wrap. So this is where it gets tricky. When you've got too much string on here, it makes it more difficult. So you want to shorten this up a bit. Okay. So you got that like that, and then just wrap that around like that. Okay. And then you hold here with your left hand. All right.
Oh, so on the top of the knot like that?
Yeah, on the top. Yeah. So this bit here now, you forget about this bit. You don't need that.
Yep.
All right. This bit here, wrap it around. No, this bit.
Yeah.
Wrap that underneath twice. done it left-handed for some reason. I don't know why. You'd come from this side, you go over the top twice, and then you bring that up
let's
from
start again.
underneath. Yeah. Okay.
It's not as easy as it
It's
looks.
simple. It is so simple.
No.
Get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Hold that like that. Okay? And then bring that and wrap it around. That's it. Now pinch that bit. That's correct. Okay. Now, that way.
Over.
Yeah. Over twice.
Over twice.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah. Now you come up, back up through that hole from underneath.
Is it? Oh gosh. It's frayed. There we go.
Yeah, no, that's it. Perfect. Okay, now just pull that up tight. Okay, cool. Now, to tension it, you slide this bit, the whole string back, and then pull that forward. Okay, you don't have to get it all tensioned up on the first one. You can do it a couple of times. Okay, so you pull that forward. Now, you tie it off. Okay, so this is the easiest one.
Okay.
Wrap that around your fingers, just like that, and then grab that. Okay, and then you pull that knot down, and it'll knot onto the top of that one and lock everything in place.
So, wait, how'd you, like that way? Is that how you did it?
How did I do it? That way. Okay, so you put your fingers in that string, and basically just point your fingers to the ground. All right, and then that'll fold that over. Then you can grab that.
That way?
Yep, that's it. That's it. Yep, pull that up. Yeah, and pull it tight. Now do the same thing again.
If I can.
Yeah, you can. You can do it. That's it. Perfect.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll cut that off there. Now when I was an apprentice, my boss used to go around when I first learned how to tie these knots and add up all these bits of string, put them all together like that on the bench. All right. So with the one I'm doing, I'm cutting them off like that. My boss used to not be very happy if I had to tie up 50 rolled roasts and I'd ended up with meters and meters of string left over. So it's not a big deal, but if you can get that down there tighter and have less waste on your string, obviously it's better.
Should we try one more?
Yeah.
See if I remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so cut end out.
Yep. Correct. So that the cut end of the string is away from you. Okay.
So just putting that one that way.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
easy
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then hold
Now
it.
pinch that with your left hand. Get this one out of the way. Yeah. Now you make your loop. So if you slide your thumb down there a little bit more, okay, it's going to give you a bigger loop to work through.
Okay.
All right, and then you've got a nice big, hole to put that string back up through.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
So get that down there.
Okay, you make this look so much easier than I do. So 2, and
Yeah.
then this way?
Yep.
1,
Back from the bottom.
Oops, I lost
Yep, that's it. Yep. Now just pull it up. Okay, and then we can slide that forward. Slide the whole knot forward, the whole string, like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then to tension it, your best way to tension it is to wrap it around your hand. So around where your knuckles are. All right, and then you just give it a couple of pulls. So just like that.
Alright, and then now we just.
You make the loop.
Is that how I did it? No, I did it with this hand, didn't I?
Yep.
That way?
Yep, that's
There
fine.
you
Yep.
Got there in the
And
end.
then pull it down. And pull it down. Okay, and that's it. So now if we look at this,
Oh no, go on.
the
It got
strings are
worse.
getting longer. Okay, she's stuck on the computer with a pen. She's not doing anything with string anymore.
Thank you so much for watching. We'd really like to do some more videos like this in the future. So if you have any ideas or if there's anything that you'd like to see, please leave us a comment. That would be great.
Keep an eye out. We're planning a trip. We've just got a brand new organic lamb supplier. First time in the 18 years that we've had the shop that we're actually going to have certified organic lamb. They start next week. Okay. We will be doing a trip down to see this farm. So keep an eye on our blog post and our socials for that one too. Thanks.